If you're a freelancer earning somewhere between 60 grand and 200 grand a year, and you've been told a SEP IRA is the easy retirement account for self-employed people, you're probably leaving five figures on the table. Not a typo. Five figures every year, depending on your income. Here's the number that should make you uncomfortable. According to Vanguard's 2024 How America Saves report on small business plans, the average SEP IRA balance is meaningfully smaller than the average solo 401k balance for comparable earners. And it's not because SEP holders earn less. It's because the contribution math is fundamentally weaker for most freelancers. And the IRS just bumped the 2025 solo 401k total contribution limit to $70,000, which widened the gap even more. So the question isn't which one is simpler. The question is, at your income, which one actually lets you shelter the most money? And is the simpler option quietly costing you a Tesla every few years? Let's run the real math. First, the piece nobody explains clearly. A SEP IRA only has one type of contribution, the employer contribution. As a freelancer, you are the employer. You can put in up to 25% of your net self-employment income, capped at $70,000 for 2025 per the IRS. That's it. One lever, one percentage. A solo 401k has two levers. You contribute as the employee, up to $23,500 in 2025, or $31,000 if you're 50 or older, thanks to the catch-up. Then on top of that, you contribute as the employer, up to roughly 20% of net self-employment income. Same $70,000 combined cap. But, and this is the part that changes everything, you get to that cap at a much lower income level with the solo 401k, because the first $23,500 isn't tied to a percentage of profit. It's a flat amount you can shovel in regardless. Let me show you what that looks like in dollars, because this is where freelancers either get it or they don't. Say you netted $80,000 on your Schedule C last year. After the deduction for half of self-employment tax, your contribution base lands around $74,000. With a SEP, you're limited to about 20% of that. Call it $14,800. That's your maximum. Done. With a solo 401k at the same $80,000 in net profit, you put in $23,500 as the employee. Then you add roughly $14,800 as the employer. Total, $38,300. You just sheltered more than 2.5 times what the SEP allowed. At a 24% marginal federal bracket, that's an extra $5,600 in federal tax saved this year alone. Add state tax on top if you're in California or New York, and the gap gets uglier. And honestly, I think most generic comparison articles bury this because they assume you're a $600,000 earner. At 700 grand of profit, sure, both plans hit the 70,000 cap and they look identical on paper. But almost nobody I work with is at that income. Most freelancers are between 50 and 250, and that's exactly the income band where the solo 401k crushes the SEP. Now let's talk about the second lever the SEP doesn't have at all. And this is the one that decides whether you're paying tax now or never. A solo 401k lets you choose Roth for the employee portion. $23,500 a year, growing tax-free, no required minimum distributions on the Roth side after the Secure 2.0 changes took effect in 2024. A SEP IRA is pre-tax only at most custodians. Yes, technically the Secure 2.0 Act opened the door for SEP Roth contributions. But as of mid-2025, most major custodians, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, still haven't built the operational support for it. So in the real world, your SEP is a pre-tax only vehicle. Why does that matter? If you're in a low-income year, maybe you took 6 months off, maybe you had a slow start to your freelance career, paying tax now at 12 or 22%, and never paying tax on the growth again is a gift. The SEP can't give you that gift. The solo 401k can, and there's a piece of this almost nobody talks about. The backdoor Roth. If you make over $165,000 single or $240 married in 2025, you can't contribute directly to a Roth IRA. The IRS phases you out. The workaround is the backdoor Roth, where you put money in a traditional IRA and convert it. But here's the trap. The pro rata rule looks at all your IRA balances when you convert, including SEP IRA money. So if you've got 100 grand sitting in a SEP and you try a backdoor Roth, most of that conversion gets taxed. A solo 401k sits outside that calculation entirely. It doesn't poison your backdoor Roth, the SEP does. That alone is reason enough to switch if you're a higher earner. Now, the contribution side is only half the comparison. Let's talk about what these accounts let you do once the money's inside. A solo 401k lets you take a loan against the balance, up to $50,000 or 50% of your vested balance, whichever is lower. The SEP doesn't allow loans. Period. I'm not a huge fan of 401k loans as a strategy, but if you're a freelancer with lumpy income and zero employer safety net, having that option available, even if you never use it, is worth something. It's an emergency valve. The solo 401k also generally has cleaner rules around the rule of 55, which lets you tap the account penalty-free if you separate from work in or after the year you turn 55. SEP IRAs follow standard IRA rules, 59.5 before you can touch it without the 10% penalty, with the usual narrow exceptions under Section 2T. For a freelancer planning an early exit, that 5-year difference is real money. One thing I'll concede to the SEP, it's genuinely easier to set up. You can open one in 20 minutes at any major brokerage. No plan document, no annual filing. A solo 401k requires a plan document, and once your account balance crosses $250,000, you have to file a Form 5.500EZ every year with the IRS. It's not hard. It's about a 30-minute form, but it exists. If you genuinely value the simplicity more than the tax savings and you're a low earner, fine. The SEP is defensible. Just know exactly what you're paying for that simplicity. I work with 1099 earners on tax and retirement strategy, and the pattern I see over and over. Someone opens a SEP in year 1 because their tax preparer mentioned it offhand in March. They contribute every year. 5 years go by. They've sheltered maybe $40,000 total. Then they finally talk to someone who runs the solo 401k numbers, and they realize they could have sheltered $120,000 over that same period. That's the cost of easy. Here's the part nobody mentions about timing, because this is where most freelancers blow it. A SEP IRA can be opened and funded all the way up to your tax filing deadline, including extensions. October 15th of the following year. That flexibility is real. A solo 401k historically had to be established by December 31st of the tax year you wanted to contribute for. Secure Act changes loosen that. You can now establish a solo 401k up to your tax deadline for the employer contribution portion. But the employee deferral election technically needed to be made by year-end. In practice, this is why so many freelancers default to the SEP in a panic during tax season. They miss the solo 401k window. Don't be that person. Set up your solo 401k in the first quarter of the year, even if you're not sure how much you'll contribute. The setup is free at Fidelity and Schwab. The election preserves your option. Let me give you one more example because the income range matters so much. Say you're a freelancer netting $150,000. SEP gets you to about $27,900 sheltered. Solo 401k gets you to $23,500 plus $27,900, $51,400. At a 32% combined federal and state marginal rate, that delta is roughly $7,500 in tax saved this year. Compound that over 15 years of freelance income, and we're talking about the difference between retiring at 60 and retiring at 55. And look, your situation isn't identical to anyone else's. Your marginal bracket, your state, whether your spouse has a W-2 401k, whether you have employees who would have to be covered under a CP but excluded from a solo 401k, all of that shifts the math. If you have any non-spouse employees working more than 1,000 hours a year, the solo 401k is off the table entirely, and you're looking at a SEP or a regular 401k. That's a real constraint, and it's worth knowing before you go shopping. But for the vast majority of solo freelancers, no employees, profit between 50 and 250, the answer isn't close. Open the solo 401k. Use the Roth bucket if your income lets you. Set it up in January, not December. I'm not a licensed CPA or financial advisor. This is general education for freelancers, not personalized advice. If this saved you a few $1,000s in mental tax, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We're working through the full retirement playbook for 1099 earners one piece at a time. And if there's a specific freelance tax or retirement question you want me to break down next, drop it in the comments and I'll work it into an upcoming video. This video may contain affiliate links. I only recommend tools I use personally.